What's up, narrative board game fans? Today we have an epic narrative board game. That's why I said narrative board game fans. It is massive. It is Tesla punk plus steampunk plus, a little bit of, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein type stuff, which is both Tesla punk and steampunk. It spans 3 generations in game. It is, you guessed it, I'm going to put this cane down, my father's work that we're going to be taking a look at today. This is the Kickstarter edition of the game, so there's going to be a little bit more content in this edition than the retail edition, but hopefully Renegade Games will allow other people who didn't get in on the Kickstarter to purchase the additional bonus content. Anyway, let's go to the table and let's take a look at, see what's in My Father's Work. Here is the My Father's Work box, and some interesting artwork on the back here. Let's open this up. And just inside box cover here. And right away we're hit with, I assume, the rules. So we have illustrated itemized components list, and goal setup, basic setup, and player setup, choosing your pieces, scenarios, saving your progress, gameplay, order of play, you see some minor, iconography here. No large images, but it looks like the should be good enough. Lots of text. End of a round. Designer notes on xenophobia. Wow, that'll be interesting to read. Credits and so on and so forth. So this rule book, in terms of the rules, is only 25 pages, and then you have an icon guide on the back. Very nice. So mostly text and a lot of pictures, but it's not a 35 or 40 page rule book. It's 25 pages, so it shouldn't be that bad. I mean, it's a lot of rules, but probably not as bad given that you have an app to help guide you through play this game. Okay, so now we have a Village Chronicle book, and I'm going to be careful because I don't want to give away too many spoilers. So the cost of disease, and so you have this map, you have this village map and things like this. I don't think there are spoilers in here, but you have all of these different game board maps in here for going through the scenario. And then Fear of the Unknown. So I think there are 3 scenarios in this version of the game. So I'll just show you, and I'll flip through that first one, and then there are 2 others in this book. So it's kind of this flip book mat. We've seen that in narrative games before. And then we are hit with 2 punch boards of buildings, essentially. So these punch out pretty easily. These are they're printed on both sides. I'm not sure how much this side matters here, but let's just go through a few of these here. We have the chamber. Gain 1 ingredient at the start of each generation. Gain 1 ingredient. Then you have some icons, $2 here, and then you have some icons. And this one is private study, counts as stored. C, $5. G, secret entrance, gain an additional $1 at the start of each round. It costs $2. And Iron Volt, anytime you conduct state affairs, regain 1 sanity for $3. So there are a bunch of these buildings. I'll just kind of show you the punch board here. You can pause it if you want to read more about each of these buildings. And then we're hit with this second punch board. If you want to pause and read about some of these buildings here. And then down this corner we have these punchable tokens here that have different, looks like victory point amounts, and then you have yay and nay tokens for some kind of voting, I assume. All right, and here we have the actual player boards, and there are, looks like 4 of them, and they are indented, right? They are double layered, so I think you put your little buildings, things like this, in these little spaces here, and there are places where you can easily take them in and out. Very nice. And then these are obviously for cubes here, and I do believe, I think these are all the same. Yeah, you have some different, color schemes here. This one's kind of orangey red. This one is purple. This one is, I don't know what color scheme that is. Blue and green a little bit. Some of these color schemes are better than others, maybe. And then on the back, they say my father's work. These are actually really nice player boards. Very thick. Like I said, double printed, indented. Actually, really nice job there. Next, we are hit with, what this is. I'm gonna have to move this box. Okay, so let's figure this out. If I move this stuff out of the way. Okay, so we have some sort of board assembly here. It's kind of gets puzzled together here. And it is actually, yes, it is only printed on the one side. So this goes there. And this goes here. This goes there. Come on. So I mean, the game's not puzzles, right? Okay. And then this piece goes here. So it is nice that you, and then I think you put maybe you put this Village Chronicle in the center here, something like this. Yes, that looks right. So it is nice that this board here, it's interesting that they made it kind of this puzzle, this interlocking puzzle that goes together rather than a fold-out board, but it works, it's fine. So you have some tracks here and places for some of the building tiles. You've got an insanity track down at the bottom. So yeah, when you have, I mean, this is a perfectly reasonable game board. It just kind of comes together of all these pieces. So that is that. Bring this back over. And we are hit with a couple of trays. Oh my, all sorts of stuff. Okay, so again, I'm gonna put this aside for a second and work on this tray here. And this is actually, I can't, yeah, it is by Game Trays. You can see it right there, Game Trays. Maybe you can see it. It is by Game Trays, just trust me, even if you can't see it, it says Game Trays right there. And this is really thick, nice plastic. So this is a high quality game tray. This plastic is not as thick, but you can see each of these sculpts. So it looks like, and I'll pull one of each of these out to show you a little bit better, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sculpts, and you have 4 of each, and it looks like these sculpts of these 4 are identical. So we have 4 of these guys, and they're plastic and they are washed. This guy's holding a lantern here, and you get 4 of those. this lady here. She's got like a spyglass or something. And you've got this lady here with this handbag. And we've got this guy with the coattails and the bag and the arms up. 4 of those guys and 4 of these guys. And he's got like a pistol or, oh, that's not a pistol, maybe that's a map and a shovel. He's clearly going to go dig up some graves because that's not illegal or creepy. And we have this one that's got some goggles and holding up something. It's got a sack of something, gold or something, or powder or potion. Okay, so you get 4 of each of those. And then, let's see. Let's actually see what's right here. Okay, so here are player aid cards. So you've got, on the back of the rules there was that iconography. Icon guide here is like a partial icon guide, it seems like. So you have symbols there, reminder, A experiments, C experiment bonus, and you've got the turn sequence. So I'll just hold up both sides of that so you can kind of see what each one looks like there. Okay. Then we have a whole bunch of nicely painted, printed wooden components there. So it looks like we have a bunch of gargoyles and knights and Frankenstein monster head, and we have a first player token. And these are screen printed on both sides. Most of them are. There are a couple tokens. The first player token is only printed on one side, but that should be fine. But the gargoyles and everything else is printed on both sides. So it's interesting that they just opted out to do the first player token that way, but everything else they did. And then a whole bunch of other tokens here. Again, wooden tokens that have Frankenstein monster type heads and skeletons and crystal balls and chalices and brains and books. Again, most of these tokens are printed on both sides, but there are a couple like this one. This generation token is not printed on both sides. Maybe that matters. And then here, we have a whole bunch of, these are clearly player bases, miniature bases, but you have, rather than all being circles of different colors, these are all either black or purple, but maybe differentiate them. You have some that are square, you have some that are hexagonal, you have some that are circular but have these little nubs on the edge. So it seems like they wanted to be able to differentiate more than just between the purple and black, but they didn't want to have neon orange or whatever. They just wanted these two colors. I'm kind of assuming that was the thinking. Oh, they fit in really nicely here. So there you go. Oh, and before I spoke too soon. Okay, so it looks like I think I spoke too soon. So we also have kind of bone white or off-white and red as well. So now I'm thinking there is one of these colors for each player. So that makes way more sense. So given that, let's take a look at these a little bit more carefully. So now that we know that, or assume that, we have 2 circles, 1 hexagon, 2 squares, and 1 circle with kind of these little nubs on the end. So I assume those denote different abilities or something in the turn. I don't know. But clearly that has something to do with gameplay. It's an interesting choice. This is the first time I've seen player bases do that before. So there you go. Now, if we are nowhere close to done here. Let's look at this. And then, actually, before I get into that, there are these three kind of tuck boxes here. I have seen some unboxers will kind of like bust into these and show you what's in them. I'm not going to do that here just because I really try and err on the side of caution in terms of any type of spoiler. Not into it, especially in narrative games. But this version of the game does come with 3 different story campaign boxes. It does give you the component list on the back, so you know, yeah, there are different cards. So I'll show you the backs because those won't be spoilers. But on the cost of disease, you can see these components here. So 7 experiment cards, other types of cards, lots of different types of cards and tiles and tokens and things like that. So it gives you an idea of what is in the box without showing you all of the cards. It'll let you discover that on your own. And then Fear of the Unknown, you can see the components that come in that. And A Time of War, there's the component list for A Time of War. And this is the first time I've seen component lists on the back of tuck boxes. So there are a couple new things I'm seeing in this game that I've not seen elsewhere. Hey y'all, I just want to jump in here again real quick. I mentioned at the beginning of this unboxing that we were unboxing the Kickstarter edition of the game, which is true. And that means it comes with all 3 of these narrative scenario tuck boxes with all these extra components. In the base game, my understanding is that it only comes with the cost of disease, and I already showed kind of the contents, the component list of this one. And then in the Kickstarter edition, you also get Fear of the Unknown, as well as A Time of War. So I just want to make sure I'm doing my due diligence and let you know that if you get the retail version of this game, you only get the cost of disease. Hopefully Renegade Games will put out the other tuck box expansions at some point in the future, but just FYI. If we open up this, again, Game Trace, got my father's work inlay here. We have, here are some nice components. So we have all of these. These are glass. Glass vials, and the corks do pop out. So if you wanted to kind of gussy these up, you could put different colors of sand in there, or herbs, or things like that. And you do get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 of those. And then you'll see here you have different acrylic cubes, 8mm in kind of black, blue, green, and yellow cubes right there. And here we have Metal Gear components. You can hear that clinking around, and they are gears that are there's some repeats in there, but you see these kind of brass or bronze or copper gears. Those are really nice components there. And we have, these are really heavy. These are 1-unit coins here. You can hear those clacking together. Those are really nice and very heavy, by the way. They're about the size of a penny-ish, but they're thicker than a penny. You can see that. They're very weighty. These are just great to hold. And then over here we have coins that are 5. I don't get quite as many of these, and these are a little bit bigger than a nickel, but they're definitely thicker, or I don't know, thicker than one, but they're definitely heavier than a nickel. So wonderful coinage here, holding your hand. And then we are hit with a whole bunch of animal tokens of various types. We have frogs and horses and elephants and sharks and owls and foxes and goats, boar in there, and these are printed on both sides. And then we have a whole bunch of coffins, screen printed coffins of various types, some of the crosses and things like that. It's just glorious components, very pretty. This whole tray here is, it's got a lot of weight to it. And these, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So again, we are still not done here, even though we're not busting in these tuck boxes. We still have, and actually if I pull up these tuck boxes, you'll see in the very bottom here, you do have some interesting tray area here for storage solutions once everything is unpacked. So I showed you this tuck boxes already, or at least the contents on the back, so I'll put that aside, and we are still left with this right here. So 4 decks of cards, and these decks of cards are labeled A, B, and C. Probably don't want to mess that up. Oh, this is B. I've already messed it up. I've already messed it up quite badly. Or maybe they were just putting that wrong. So just stand by while I unpackage all of these. Almost there. Okay. Hey, me again. I just want to take a brief pause and show you the app for My Father's Work. I'm just going to turn up the volume a little bit here so you can hear a little bit of that music. Maybe. Oh, very ominous. And then if we hit, and I'm going to turn that down a little bit because that's a lot of volume. If we hit new game, you get this other screen and choose audio, voice, masculine, feminine. We will go with, let's go with feminine, why not? Hit continue, and how many players do you want? We'll go with 2 players. And alright, you're hit with a piece of narrative text. I know my ring light is kind of messing that up for you, but there is the app right there that you can play on any Android or iOS device. So let's get back to the unboxing. So let's do the mini cards first. And it looks like, yeah, these all have the same back, which is this kind of spiral brain face head thing. And on the front, okay, so these are compulsions. These are all compulsion cards. So we've got some flavor text at the top. I cannot allow you to suffer alongside me in torment, although my heart burns. All this I've created, I did it all for you, my love. As free action, I don't have my glasses on. As free action, move your unused spouse to lost. 4 VP. And I'll just show these real quick. Must collect an animal. Must complete an A-level experiment. Must complete a B-level experiment. Must collect a gear. Must collect a body. Must record knowledge. Must conduct a state affairs. Must collect any type of knowledge. Must collect occult knowledge. Must collect a chemical. Must visit the church. Must upgrade your estate. As a free action, move an unused servant token to lost to gain a body. Must visit the town hall. Must complete an A-level experiment. Must complete a C-level experiment. Must complete a biology type experiment. Must complete an engineering type experiment. Must complete a chemistry type experiment. You get the idea here. Must complete an occult type experiment. Yeah. Okay. And then, okay, we only have a few more here. Must send spouse to town to collect any resource. Must move the angry mob token to the right. Yikes. Must record knowledge. And each one of these has flavor text as well. Okay, so now we have these 3 sets of cards here. And you have some different card backs here, but you have, this is an electric organs with tons of iconography, chimpanzee butler, sinister metal mask, lots of iconography, magical elephant, weather control device, automaton, vocal cord grafting, telephone line to hell, wow, one-way gate to the underworld, altar of blood and steam, helping hand, summon a familiar, spontaneous combustion pills, inhuman millipede, giant spider chariot, time machine, love potion, immortality, lycanthropic strength, the Nyctalope, I don't know what that is, the creature, teleportation. And then you have, these are like more, they've got the kind of the same icon, it's close to the same icons, these only they're kind of 2 faces, so these are maladjustments. Clinging your spouse, you must send your spouse along with another worker to take actions. Writer's block, yourself cannot be used to record knowledge. Loose lips, anytime you record knowledge, all the other players may draw an experiment. Midlife crisis, fear of abandonment, must be loved, arrogant, spoiled brat, creep, spinal abnormality, addict, existential crisis. So there's a lot going on in these cards. This game is not pulling its punches in terms of concepts and themes here. And then we have these other decks. And I think I'm going to let you discover some of this on your own, because I don't want to, I know I'm not showing the tuck boxes, but just, you know, just giving you an idea of everything that you can have in here. I'll go through these real quick just to give you an idea. So tons of these other things you can, I think, build or things like that. And that is everything that comes in the deluxe edition of My Father's Work. I could almost do this for an hour right here. Anyway, that is everything in the Kickstarter edition of My Father's Work. It looks to me like the narrative writing in this game on the cards, and I've gone through the app just a very little bit, is outstanding. So I'm really excited to play. I have a hard time with narrative games. I like the idea of narrative games, but I think the writing in so many narrative games is absolutely terrible at best. And it looks like that the designers behind My Father's Work might have really tried to get some good authorship in there, good writing in there. So excited to see if that is in fact the case. And the little tiny baby vials are really, really cool. So hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Please do like, subscribe, leave a comment, you know, share our stuff with your fellow board game people, and we will see you online and hopefully at the table soon. Until next time, I'm your host, Pete Steele. Take care, all.